What's the science universal family? On another glorious day of the science of living mathematics. And I know it's been a while I haven't done these videos. Just got busy. But now I'm back at it. And what better way to kick things off than on the first day of the month? With that being said, and what is the first? What is one? One in the supreme mathematics is knowledge. And what is knowledge? To me, knowledge represents accumulated facts and ideas, which are learned through 1, observation, 2, studying, and 3, contemplation. Right? And what is 1 in the alphabet? The first letter in the alphabet is A. And what is A in the supreme alphabet? That's a law. The all within all. As above, so below. The beginning and the end. All things working in unison as a single unit. And that's what you are. That's what I am. The universe and yourself is one and the same, just in different forms. You get what I'm saying? And today's video, I wanted to hit on the topic of the other meanings of knowledge, which is the root, the foundation, your foundation or my foundation, right? So as we travel around the world, gain experience, go through our own trials and tribulations, whether good or bad, we have to know to sometimes come back home, right? And this is important because all things revolve around a cipher, which is any person, place, or thing that is complete. So a completion of a journey is to always come back from where it started, right? In my previous builds, I've said, where's the beginning of a circle? Now, you can sit here and try to form up equations or anything like that, but the beginning of a circle is where you started. I might start at the top, you might start up on this side, some people might, wherever, it doesn't matter, because it's all about you. You are the protagonist of your own story. So therefore, your beginning is yours, not mine. Right? How I choose to do things is not the same how you would do it. We might have similarities. My experiences, let's say, how I chose to do things, I can explain it to you and it can help you out, just as it did for me, because that's all it is, just experience, right? And remembering to come back home is important, because your home is where you rest your head at. It is where you cleanse yourself from outside influence. It is your safe zone. And this is important because when you get home, you should drop your bags, take off your coat, and relax. Your home should feel welcoming, most importantly to you. How can your home be welcoming to others if it is not to you? When this whole COVID pandemic started, seeing on social media how people going crazy being stuck at home was crazy to me. Because home is where I go to, let's say, escape society. I design my home, let's say, decorate my home to how I choose to things that I like. So therefore, like as you see behind me, all the plants hanging and all the stuff, the decorations, I love that. I love coming home to see that. I love coming home to check these things out. And that foundation is very important to me, because it's not like the foundation I just started and I never look back to it, right? One thing that I tell the young folk that come to work, at least in my workplace, is to don't forget that original thought, that spark as to what caused you to come to the job in the first place, why you chose to work there, right? Look at the foundation of your journey What caused you to take that? Right? Because what's important is that you have to remember is to not become a savage in the pursuit of happiness. Because it can happen where you can lose yourself in this path that you have taken. Forget where home is. But home is you. It is who you are. And the physical home is an extension of you. You get what I'm saying? So never forget this piece. Never forget that exploring out there in relation to you is to teach you more about yourself. Because you and the universe is one and the same. So what you're looking out at there is you. Many times the conditions of your surroundings can represent what you're going through within. Right? And then when you get to a point where this is not good, I need to change my surroundings to have a better way of thinking, then you go ahead and do so. Right? Because the physical is just a manifestation of the mind. It's a reflection of the mind. And you have to be able to always come back full circle. All things always come back full circle. You know what I mean? So with that being said, knowledge, to know the ledge. All right, just being able to break down the words. Know ledge. Gotta know your limits. You gotta know when you gotta turn around and come back home. You know, a smart man knows not to quit so easily, but a wise man knows when to quit. Right? It's like, I ain't no quitter, I don't do it. Sometimes you have to retreat. You know, you run out of supplies. You went as far as you could go. You come back home. Reset yourself. See what you can add to your foundation to make this foundation much stronger, so we can support a larger structure, which is you, which is your mind, which is your experience, right? No skyscraper will be able to stand tall like that if the foundation was not firm and was not in place. And that's what you have to make sure that you do. You have to make sure that your knowledge is firm on what you know. You can't go on just, I think so, I don't know. In other places that might make sense, in the sense of, you got to take the leap of faith, so they say. Scared money make no money. But it has to come from a point of knowledge. You can't just go out there without knowing. You have to think about, all right, this is what I want to do. This is what the path, it's like going camping. These are the things I'm going to pack. I'm going to prepare as much as I can. Now, if you experience something that you wasn't prepared for out there, you at least have everything covered that you prepared for, and use that knowledge as a basis, as a foundation, to be able to succeed and overcome these new obstacles that are out there, right? And let in new growth. And that's another thing. We're in the beginnings of spring, per se. And also, my new year is almost coming up on the 5th, which is my physical degree. And to me, that's something that's very important. And every year, or every new year for me, is a holiday for me to take that time and reflect, contemplate on what I've done throughout the year. Right? I come back home. I come back to me. I might go out with my cousins, my family, whatever, my friends. But in my mind, I'm in deep contemplation of self. What can I do better? Why couldn't I succeed in this? Is it outside of my control, or is it within my control? Because I am the sole control of my life. So therefore, I have to be able to know, engage, is this something that I can control and move forward and make the changes, or is this something that it's outside of my control? And if it's so, what do I have to do to put it in my control? Right? And this is what knowledge is all about. This is why knowledge comes first, because we have to be able to think before we act at all times. It is not good to react and then think about it afterwards. Think about the consequences. You got to cover your grounds. You got to cover your corners at all times to the best of your ability. Now, other people's abilities might be better than others, and that's okay, because you're worrying about yourself. This is why it's called knowledge of self. It's about you, and it's about where you're at this point in time, where your foundation is at. If you need to add more concrete, if you need to add more rebar, then that's what you have to do. Don't worry about the next person. You know what I mean? And this is how we move forward as a people, by working on ourselves individually. As a collective, you will see the change in gradual steps. You get what I'm saying? It's something that I find very exciting when I see others working on their foundation, working on themselves. Why? Because in our society nowadays, we waste so much time putting so much time and energy into things outside of ourselves. But how many times do we take to focus on ourselves? And I don't mean doing something so that way the people outside of you can see and be like, oh, yo, he's the man, yo. Nah, none of that. Something that you can look at and be like, you know what, this is good. Something that even your kids can see over time and see your growth and development. And then to be like, you know what, I like what my pops did. I like what my moms did, you know, and I think that's something that I want to try, I want to do. See if it works for me. See if I can make any changes, and that's okay to make those changes. All right, that's just why observation. When it's a newborn, notice how newborns are just sitting there just watching. That's how they learn knowledge, and they're masters at it. That's how they're able to grow and do the things that they do at a young age. Even now, the reason I'm able to speak and talk the way that I do is because I observed. I did the knowledge when I was a newborn, right? And that's what we cannot forget as we go through this journey that we call life. And I'm not a big fan of life is too short. No, it's not. Because if we live to up to 200, 500 years old, we will still be saying that, because it's all relative. We got insects out here that only live 24 hours. You know what I mean? And here we are living as long as we do, and we're talking about life is too short. Why is it too short? Is it because most of your life went by a blur? You didn't notice it because you were just too caught up in society and the wave? That's probably what it is. You know, if you pause and just do the knowledge, you become aware, right? Next time you go to a concert, instead of you just pulling your phone out and experiencing the concert or whoever your favorite artist through your phone, just so you can post it like everybody else that's there doing, you know, so a couple of likes whatsoever, put your phone down. Now, if you're going to take a picture whatsoever, you take a picture. But for you, not for the social media. You get what I'm saying? Experience it. Put your phone down. Look at it with your own eyes. Look at the lights. Because again, a lot of people put time and effort for this presentation per se, right? For you to observe. To look, listen, and observe. And what? Respect. Right? So, enjoy this concert with your own eyes. Listen with your own ears. You know what I mean? And you'll see that it's a whole brand new experience. And this comes down again to that foundation of self. Of like, why are you doing these things? You went to the concert so you can show other people? So you paid $200 for front row tickets. So you can post it online, and so I get it for free. So I can enjoy what you technically did not enjoy. And I'm here just on my phone like this, enjoying it. Because I'm not using my phone to record off your phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at with my own eyes. So you're basically giving me a free pass. Why? You know? Last year, which I posted a lot of pictures on, I spoke on, you know, I went on a trip to San Francisco to see the redwood forest, you know, the California Academy of Science as well. Never been to a rainforest as well, and that's something I always wanted to do. And because I was there, it was an indoor rainforest, which was amazing. Did I take pictures? Yes, but most of my time was with my phone down and me just observing. Observation, knowledge. And this is something that I always wanted to do since I was young. I grew up watching Discovery Channel, the Science Channel, National Geographic, all that with my father. And that helped mold me to the person I am today. Why I love plants and stuff like this idea, not with the hexagons, that's just something I added on to what I saw. As a kid, I was with my mom and we went to go visit one of her friends. And she had like these vine plants and it covered the whole ceiling. They were just so long and just covered the whole ceiling and it looked like I was under a forest. And that image burned in my head. And that's something that always stuck with me and I said I wanted to do. But everything that I was going through, it never manifested itself out until I got myself out of a situation and I was okay with me. You get what I'm saying? I went back to my foundation and let go of things that no longer were priority. And that allowed me to express myself, express this idea in this form. And of course, I'm not done. This is a growing. Just as they keep growing, these ideas are going to mold. What I'm going to do is going to mold, and that's okay. Because that's what it is, accumulated facts and ideas. It's like, oh, you know, this is how it's going. Because if you see my old videos, this was probably like right up here. Now it's all down here. Now it's all up in there. When I'm on my computer using it and stuff like that, it's all scratching my head. I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? Oh, that's what it is, you know? And that's all fun of the process. You know, when you work on yourself and on your foundation, your home, it takes time. And that's okay, as long as it's moving, right? Because how you look at life is through motion. Doesn't matter about fast motion or slow motion, just motion. And you slowly progress through that. And then you come back full circle, back to the knowledge, back to the foundation of who you are, of why you chose to do what you did. And that spark. It's kind of like you go back and you look at the spark. What sparked me to go and do this? You get what I'm saying? So, I think I said enough on today's mathematics. I fast and pray that I can continue to do better, and obviously I'll get better equipment to be able to do these videos more consistently. And with that, my people, I'm gonna say peace and enjoy the rest of your day, Universal Family. Right? Because on another glorious day of the science of living mathematics. Peace.